Hello, I am tatocat and welcome to my channel. Today we are playing Lucid9. Last episode we met up with a long lost friend. Our current friend doesn't like her, and apparently destiny is awaiting us. It's been a while. I think we're going to a career day. Alright, let's get started. To the courtyard, destiny awaits. There are more than a few rolled eyes. Everyone obediently files out of the classroom. Our class pours into the courtyard, which currently resembles a crowded street market. Columns of booths are set in orderly lines, each attempting to outshine the others with progressively more outrageous signage and progressively louder music. I wonder if they got a boost for my future job. Come to think of it, in all the 203 times he's talked about his dream, he never once mentioned his future job. Just like all the things he'll own. Oh, and what might that be? Isn't it obvious? With my stunning looks and all? So, a trash can? Is that even a job? Nowadays, I think it probably could be. Of course it's a job. Oh, well, no. I want to be a model. That's ridiculous. Wait. It's not as silly as it seems. I mean, seeing how he just believed that being a trash can was a profession. He can't have a job that requires him to think. He also can't have a job that requires social interaction. He just repels people instead of attracting them. Those are the two biggest flaws, and modeling doesn't need either. As for his looks, I hate to admit it, but he's not so bad looking. He'd probably be able to land himself a girlfriend if he could just keep quiet. It almost sounds like a serious plan. Here you go, my friend. I'm glad you finally realized the cruel truth. What are you talking about? I'm just saying that it's a good idea, especially coming from you. Isn't it? Once I become famous, the entire world will be able to witness my magnificence. I'll be on TV, the internet, advertising blimps, basically everywhere. On second thought, maybe it's a terrible idea. Well, if you don't mind me, I'm off to meet my destiny. And with that, he skips off into the crowd, leaving me awkwardly leaning against the wall like some kind of delinquent. I'm not really sure what to do. I'll be wasting my time if I look around. I'll be wasting my time if I stay here. What a conundrum. You there! I turned to the source of the voice, a man in a medical coat, standing in front of a booth, boasting a holographic sign. Way Forward Pharmaceuticals, Hospital Division. Hunch. I'm guessing he's a doctor. Are you interested in becoming a doctor? Bodies, open wounds? Yeah, no. Sorry. I don't think I can deal with the pressure of being a doctor. That's what you're worried about, then don't worry. I'm a heart surgeon, and I get an entire team of people helping me during the operation. Well, I've had people helping me. Oh. Well, at least I think he's probably smart enough to be a doctor. Scalpel, please. Nah. What do you mean, nah? I thought I was supposed to do all the cutting this time. That doesn't matter. It sure does. I see what's going on here, man. You want to take all the credit. Well, guess what? That ain't happening. What are you talking about? I'm the doctor here. Doctor, the patient is in critical condition. If you don't act fast, he's going to die. The patient is dying, dang it. Give me the scalpel. Whoa there. Don't be getting your scrubs in a bunch. Doctor, the patient is dead. See? Look what you did. Look what Yeah, I don't think being a doctor is right for me. Are you sure? You got a great internship program. I'm good. Thanks though. Another nearby booth catches my eye. A multicolored sign claims that it's from the National Education Institute. Behind the booth table, a tall woman in glasses is speaking animatedly to a small group of students. Don't you feel that we have the duty to equip the next generation? In this society, knowledge is power, and we need to ensure that our successors have the power to move forward. My job is the best and the most beneficial, and there are no downsides whatsoever. Yeah, been there, heard that. Don't your students annoy you? Or tire you out? Well, I've had some ups and downs in my career, of course. The more, difficult students may be perplexing at first, but when you persevere, you always end up getting those students back on the right path. Is that so? Teacher, what's 5 plus 7? This is high school, Mr. Ikari, not primary school. You should have mastered addition by now. But teach... Excuse me, Mr. Kuragane. Smoking is not permitted on campus. Hand those over. Shh, you ain't the boss of me, kid. Kid? I'm your teacher. You're shorter than me, kid. And that makes you a kid. Alright, that's it. You're staying after class. You got detention to serve. Says who? Says you? You couldn't even take on a diseased chicken with one claw tied to its tail. Why can't you be that eloquent on your essays? Teacher? What? What's wrong? Why are you crying? Again. Before. Oh, you're angry at me. I'm sorry. I'm so terrible. I can't. Hey, don't cry. Yeah, I don't think I have enough patience to deal with students. I meandered down the row of booths, apathetically peering at any that seemed mildly entertaining. One man with a remarkably bushy mustache raises his fist in the air, yelling at the top of his lungs. Do you love Japan? Join the Japanese Self-Defense Force today! Wow. I thought those kinds of die-hard patriots only exist on TV. Any man who's able to follow orders can be seen as a hero in Japan. If you're still alive. Grenade. Cover it, soldier! What? But we could just run away. Jump on the grenade, or I'll have you court-martialed for insubordination. But I'll die. All the better. Hop to it. Why was she the leader of our squad? Of all the people. Yeah, not happening. I turn away from the booth. Everything I see is equally unpromising. Do you have a knack for cooking? Why not apply for Lyon Culinary School? Gather here, engineers, mathematicians, fellow countrymen. The biggest digital corporation of the world, Lemonscape, has positions open for you. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. But it's Lemonscape now. Have you always wanted to help the hurting? Join us at Cumulus Therapy Center and transform the world, one life at a time. A quick glance at the other direction reveals that I seem to be the only one having trouble. I find Elizabeth in a deep conversation with a police officer just a few feet away. Wouldn't have thought her to be the type. Maybe she's sucking up to them so they'll let her off for corporate fraud. Meh, I can't really judge her. At least she found something that she's interested in. Me, on the other hand, well, I have nothing. What's up? Can't find your life calling? What? I turned at the source of the voice. A scraggly man slumped against a rickety folding chair. A worn beanie plopped on his head, and a threadbare trench coat thrown over his shoulders. There's no sign on his booth. Is hobo a legitimate career? Hobo. Ha! Youngsters these days. You hold your future in your own hands and you don't even know what to do with it. You're lucky, you know. There was a time when people didn't have the luxury of choosing their careers. Upon second glance, I noticed that there are several rolling racks of books settled in the back of the booth. There doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason to their genre: science fiction, mystery, fantasy, young adult. But they're all under the same name. Are you a writer? He smiles when I ask him this. What? Surprised? Who do you think I was? An adventurer? A globetrotter? A homeless guy, actually. He throws back his head and laughs. You've got life. I can't wait to read your stories. Somehow, I don't think being a writer would fit me. So far, he doesn't think anything fits him. Oh, somebody help me. Whatever shall I do? Fear not, generic damsel in distress. I am the hero. I lost the previous battle, so this is the heroic rematch where I'm guaranteed to win. How fortunate. After you win this final battle, I shall bestow you with an obligatory smooch of victory. Hey, you can't just ignore the villain. I got your girl, Yama. Oh, spare us your evil gloating. It'll only lead to your downfall. But I gotta give a motive rant so we understand your identity as a tragic villain. Now I'll just put that as a footnote. Okay, I tire of this needless banter. I've actually written the princess's backstory so that she's a badass in distress. What? But you didn't even foreshadow that. Too bad. I need to move the plot forward. Yeah. No. Yeah, I don't think I can come up with original material. That's why you just gotta rip off real life, you know? Thanks, but no thanks. He shrugs apathetically as I walk away. What's his job? Mad scientist? A nearby small group of students catches my eye. They're gathered in front of a man in a long, sweeping lab coat. Although his voice is placid, there lies an undercurrent of power in every word he says. Life is a fragile thing. There's an unspeakable number of ways for the human body to fail, and even more for it to be broken. Death was accepted as an inevitable part of life, a natural stage in the cycle of this world. But it doesn't have to be that way. The man in the lab coat straightens as the students break into hurried whispers. Through research, we can create medicine that fights diseases and treats disorders, extending our life exponentially, and maybe indefinitely. Ah, so he's a medical researcher. He fixes his gaze on each individual in the crowd, not in a hostile manner, but certainly in an unnerving one. A day may come when we can defy death. His eyes land on me. The intelligent arc of his brow and the commanding line of his jaw shift slightly as he examines me. I feel frozen beneath his piercing gaze. It isn't exactly uncomfortable, just strange. Eventually he turns away, adjusting the golden glasses. Golden? Golden? Sure. Let's say they're golden, are settled on the bridge of his nose. If you seek to make a lasting influence on the world, join us at Waveboard Pharmaceuticals in the research division. Together we can accomplish the impossible and prevent the inevitable. The crowd of students breaks into applause, their faces agape in wonder. I can only scoff. No one can defy death. Anyone who thinks otherwise is just delusional. As I turn away from the way forward booth, the PA hums live. Attention students, Mayor Inori will be speaking up at the center stage in 5 minutes. The students around me gasped audibly, breaking into frantic whispers. Mayor Inori, he's here in person? Our school's important, you know. Why wouldn't he come? Come on, let's get a good spot. I follow the massive throng of students gathering around the courtyard center stage. Okay, sure enough, Masaru Inori, the ever-popular mayor of Isamu, is in the flesh. He gives the students a cordial way from behind the impenetrable line of security guards. You know, back in my day, when dinosaurs roamed the earth, I know I don't have a camera, but I'll audibly say, I just rolled my eyes at that. This distracts a laugh from the crowd. We always ditched career day. We'd pop over to GFC's, you should have seen it, before it was renovated, and stuff ourselves with wings. There were only double S's at the time. Shows you how far we've come in society, eh? The crowd chuckles again. Among them, I catch the distinct tint of Elizabeth's giggle. Her giggle has a tint? Okay. As usual, she's eagerly jotting notes on her phone, hanging on to the mayor's every word. The brunette girl who's always around Elizabeth is also next to her. Surprisingly, she seems equally engrossed in speech. And yes, I hated career day. Thought it was a waste of time. Thought that they were restraining me at a time when all I wanted to do was explore myself, who I was, who I wanted to be. But later I realized that I was thinking about career day in the completely wrong way. It wasn't about deciding my future, it was about exploring possibilities. He allows a moment of thoughtful silence before he continues. The truth is, you'll probably change careers multiple times in your life. In fact, the average number of job changes is estimated to be 15 times. You could be in med school all your life, but have experience in construction, woodworking, design, architecture, statistics, engineering, maybe even ostrich babysitting or bicycle fishing. Ostrich baby? Wouldn't you just be like an ostrich farmer? I guess you can have a pet ostrich, never mind. Elizabeth smiles into her hand as the students laugh like a perfectly timed trap. But as vast as the future is, you know what you don't want to do. You don't want to be hurt. You don't want to go each day full of insecurities, doubts, fears. You don't want to be lied to or backstabbed or treated like a fake. I won't lie to you. It's a nasty world out there. But I think we can all agree that regardless of who we are or where we're from, we each have an important part to play in the safety of this country. So go on, explore. You guys are bright. How does he know we're bright? We could be really dumb. I'm just saying. And hey, you guys are in a better spot than I was. I thought I'd like nothing more to become an anthropologist. Not that even I knew what that meant at the time, it just sounded cool. He just wanted the title of the name, so he didn't know it was the study of people and cultures. He just wanted something that sounded cool. Okay? His parting sentence elicits another laugh as he steps off the stage, offering a final wave. The students erupt into cheers in response. I quickly shuffle away from the crowd before the noise overwhelms me. I don't want to like this guy, heck. I don't want to like any politician, but he seems to be less evil than the others I've seen. Kind of a lesser of two evils, I guess. Furthermore, he made a good speech. He came across intelligent but genuine, two major opposites of politics. I'll burn. Maybe I'll vote in his re-election. Maybe. Hello, stranger. Oh? Oh, it's Miki. In a kimono? Okay. Hey, Miki. I abruptly stopped in my tracks, finally taking in what she's wearing. Well, you're dressed up. Which is putting it lightly. She's draped in a silken kimono that ripples around her figure like water. Hair inset with minimalistic ribbon and a crystal pin. She could own the red carpet or a throne even with that outfit. Pretty, my mind supplies unhelpfully. I quickly grind that part of my mind to a dust. That's all you have to say? Well, what were you expecting? Poetry? Oh, dearest, you liken yourself to starlight, with eyes like the moon and mouth like the purest golden flame sun ever did see. She promptly slaps me on the back. Very funny, Shakespeare, too. Although, I am impressed. Your recitation was pretty decent. I feel like she's insulting me, but she genuinely seems shocked. So, what brings you here? Did you want to become a model? What? See, I thought she'd be a model. Or like some sort of secret pop idol Hannah Montana thing. Something like that. Oh, no need to be embarrassed. Male models are hardly anything new. However, they do tend to be physically fit. Do you happen to have a six-pack? Oh, pretend I heard none of that. What makes you think I would ever want to be a model? You're standing by my company's booth. We are a modeling company. Surprised, I cast a quick glance behind her. Sure enough, a large banner reads Lotus Modeling above a tent with striking photo spreads. Hence, the kimono, I assume. You assume correctly. So, where's Rui? I haven't seen her all day. That awkward moment when... really? That's funny. She attends the school, right? What? Of course she does. So you've seen her today? Well, yeah. You didn't tell her about me? Hello, social drama, I missed you. Not. How can I word this delicately, or better yet, avoid it completely? You should probably get going back to your job. I have my eye on you, Yama. Do you really think I can't tell when you're lying? I believe in my ability to run away. Always the same, I see. I made a mental note to harass you about it later. Until then, Yama. She floats back to her booth, greeting any curious glances with an effortless smile. A model. Her job is modeling. Somehow I find that a little underwhelming. I almost expected her to be involved in something drastic like the Secret Service or the film industry or even the Olympics. But modeling, where you pose and change and smile for hours and hours, clearly he's never seen America's Next Top Model, because it doesn't seem to be that easy. Adventurous, stubborn Miki? It doesn't seem to fit her. Whatever, guess it's none of my business anyway. It's time to see Mr. Ryota. This time he opens the door as soon as I knock. He must not be playing his video game. I must have caught him at a good time. Welcome, Mishimoto. We've been expecting you. He cackles maniacally and taps his fingertips together. You should have turned in your chair while stroking a cat. But everyone's a critic. Would you rather have been left standing outside in the cold? Outside? I'd be in the hallway. You seem awfully eager to prove your mentor wrong, boy. Well, whether I prove it or not, it's still wrong, right? Ah, yes, but that would never fly in a court of law, you see. Imagine it. I declare the defendant guilty because from a metaphysical standpoint it is true that even if we have no epistemological link of knowing so. I just lost you. I get that a lot. Go ahead and take a seat. We got more important things to discuss, no? Hesitantly I slide into the nearest couch. I've always seen Mr. Ryota as an intelligent man, even if laid back. But I never actually, well, not understood him. I wonder how much brain mass he's hiding behind that cheery facade. So, the new transfer student, Misaki Kazuhaya. I hope you don't mind. I did a little lookup on her. You can do that? Well, there's no explicit rules saying I can't use the confidential databases. I'm pretty sure that there is. Nope, I may be faculty, but I'm not a teacher. It's only stated that teachers have to request special permission. Ah, yes, loopholes. I checked the loopholes. Something feels wrong about this. What did you find out? Well, if I tell you, then that's a solid breach of confidentiality. I don't want to get out of jail yet. Who's too good here? Mr. Ryota, I really worry about you sometimes. And this is me talking. So, instead, I'd like to hear your thoughts on the matter, Yama. How did you two meet? And you mentioned that she left? Yeah. Flashback time. I close my eyes, letting the ever-constant hum of the air conditioner calm my nerves. And then I start talking. It's practically subconscious. My mouth dutifully repeats the train of thought running through my mind. Everything is calm, clear, slow. Therapy. Something that I've gotten used to over the years. So I easily turn my brain to the topic of interest. Misaki Kazuhaya. I met her when I was young. Not too young, a baby still forming thought patterns and ideas about the world, but young enough to be highly impressionable. Oh, pretty. Can we make this go away? This is pretty. I like this. This is nice. I would have this as like a background. It had been on a day when I thought nothing could make me smile. Not the vibrant lanterns strewn between the roofs of multicolored booths, not the festive rhythm of taiko drummers urging the parade of light-bearing dancers, not the stands in which a variety of nutritionally questionable foods were being served. Not even Rui. Rui who dragged me out of the house despite my best efforts to stay miserable. It was only around an hour into the festival, but I was ready to go. When Rui went to the bathroom, I seriously considered ditching her and going back to my room. Apparently, I was scowling deeply at that. I didn't know it until a passing girl suddenly stopped in front of me. Does your face always look like that? To say the least, that didn't help my foul mood. I glared up at her. She was pretty. Well, that was the first thought in my head. The instinctive spark of appreciation whenever a guy sees a pretty girl, no matter how much he wants to feel otherwise. Her hair was braided back into elegant half updo, light ebony curls framing her porcelain face, big eyes, long eyelashes, pointed chin, the kind of traditional beauty you might see in a kimono commercial. Of course, the first spark of interest was immediately overridden by the indignance that only an 8-year-old boy could feel. What are you looking at? Don't look so grumpy. You should be celebrating. She didn't know anything, of course, not until a few months later. Festivals are stupid. They are not. Why? There isn't even any reason to celebrate. The girl's face twisted into something resembling anger. It looked strange on her face, like a guinea pig attempting to seem menacing. You don't even know what the festival's about, do you? Of course I didn't. I was about to admit that. Of course I do. Oh yeah? What's about? Well, you make lanterns. And I fisted my hands at her condescending tone. You write wishes on them and stuff. Wrong. Am not. Yeah, you are. You don't write wishes. You write what you want to tell dead people. Ridiculous, I should have said. Why would I even want to talk to dead people? But I didn't mock it. I couldn't mock it. Dead people? Yep. You can write a message to an auntie on this lantern, and she'd see it. How do you know that? Haven't you heard the story? No, I hadn't. But my 8-year-old pride prevented me from saying that, of course. Thankfully, the girl took my silence as confusion. Well, once upon a time, there was a princess. Was she pretty? Yeah. Good at singing? Yeah. Boring. It's not boring. The indignant anger on her face made me snicker, the first time I'd smiled all day. Yeah, well, what happens? Does she get in trouble and a charming princess to save her? Just listen. Look, she's actually a big meanie. A mean princess. That wasn't a fairy tale staple. Oh? Yeah, but her bodyguard was in love with her and turned her good again. I felt disappointed. The story had a promising start. Ugh. What do? Cast a spell, give a true love's kiss? He died. Oh? Don't look so happy. That time, I broke into a tiny laugh. But it made her good again, right? Well, yeah. She didn't trust anyone before. Thought they were all fake and stuff. It seemed that she was glaring at me at this point of the story. But before I could open my mouth, she was already continuing. Anyway, the bodyguard sacrificed himself to save her life. So the heavens were super duper impressed and put him in the stars. Aren't stars really hot? Sounds like a bad thing. Childish indignation flickered across her face. He made him into a constellation, you poop. Bleh. Bleh times infinity. Bleh times infinity plus. Anyway, the princess realized how beautiful love really is. Because he died. She saw how much he loved her, so she decided to be a better person and trust people again. This had nothing to do with writing messages to the dead on lanterns. It was rapidly losing interest. Let me guess. She lived happily ever after. Well, no, the bodyguard died, remember? I like this bodyguard. She glared at me, but somehow it felt less severe than before. She wrote her promises on a lantern and sent it up to the sky so he could see, because he was a constellation, remember? Now I realize I could have said a lot of things. That's stupid. He's dead. What could he do about it? But that wasn't on my mind at the time. Everyone turns into a bunch of stars when they die. I think? You think or you know? If they did something to super duper impress the heavens, I guess. I smiled at that. My eyes scoured the street and landed on a simple booth. A handful of other kids were gathered around the short portable table, scrawling on lanterns and with calligraphy pens clamped in fisted hands. Let's go. But I already made a lantern. Write to another dead person then. With this overwhelming display of tact and political correctness, I raced towards the table, snatched a lantern from a smiling adult, and plopped down with my pen at the ready. Who are you writing to? None of your beeswax. I began to scrawl characters on my lantern. The girl hovered over my shoulder, squinting judiciously at my jagged brushstrokes. Why is your handwriting so messy? It's not messy. I can't even read it. I whipped around, narrowing my eyes accusingly at her own lantern. Well, yours. I searched for a font, but not only was her lantern graced with perfect calligraphy, it was also probably bore a few elegant cherry blossoms. Well, yours looks girly. Such an insult for a girl, I guess. She raised a single eyebrow with remarkably sophisticated expression for a 9-year-old girl to make. I am a girl. And there was nothing much to say to that. Yama, where have you been? It was as if Rui had materialized out of thin air. I hadn't even noticed the rapid pitter-patter of her footsteps. There's a sound effect to everything, Yama. How could you not notice it? Sorry, Rui. Jeez, you could have told me. You were in the bathroom. Clearly displeased, Rui turned her back on me but smiled at the other girl. Thanks for taking care of him. Surprisingly, the girl smiled back, easy as you please. Well, weren't they getting along just fine? Why did they have to give me such a hard time? Maybe it was a girl thing. I'm Rui. I'm Misaki. You gonna make a lantern? Yep. How'd you make these flowers? They're really pretty. I can show you. And like that, the two of them were friends. It took a little longer to warm me up, but whatever the two of them set their minds to, they accomplished. They had always been that way, so fiery, so capable, so lovely. Two playful angels, who for some reason unfathomable to mankind, saw fit to hang around a bucket of depressing sludge like me. Why do you think that about yourself? Oh. What an interesting question, Mr. Ryota. Well, dear. See you next time. I am tatocat. Have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon.